Hey, hey, bless up, everybody. How y'all doing? Good
Morning.
morning, good morning.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Looking
How's it
bright this
going?
morning. Think we looking bright? Too bright?
No.
Welcome.
Okay, all right. Y'all give me some thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. Give me some thumbs up. Good morning, everyone.
Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Shakira.
Family man,
Hey,
what's
family
going on
man.
to
How you
you?
doing? Family man and wife. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning to you
Good
guys.
morning. Shy, what's going on, Shy? Good morning to
Wonder
you.
Car Jones. How you doing? Good morning. Seasons of Tree. Good morning. How you doing?
Let me keep up. My thing delayed a little bit. Let's see. All right. We good.
Yeah, we're good.
How you doing?
How you doing, Lester?
Tree. What's going on? Season of Tree? Thumbs up. We got thumbs up. Everybody here and see.
Thank you for those keys.
Oh, you're repeating with the T's and that.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you got me. You good? It's all good. I got to do it right here. So apparently we're going to have a little delay with your internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, having trouble.
Yeah. I might have to switch over.
Let me see if I can switch over.
You gave me your best option. You didn't give me no iPhone stuff, did you? That's an iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Why you didn't give me the Android with the straight talk? And
Hold on.
You know the iPhone stuff don't work good with me.
Just hold. Be patient. Be patient.
Just do.
Be patient.
Let's see, where's my login?
Let's see. Connections.
Always go with Android first.
Mobile. Hotspot. I don't think I ever used this one.
Yeah, move me.
Be patient.
No, I'm finna get it. I got it. I do these all the time.
All right. Now what else? What needs to happen?
Now I'm just finna cut it off and cut it on. Now just came with this straight. Come on up. Look like we double in. You think we double in? One.
All right. Let me check.
It's showing, but it's real not clear at the last.
I think we're back. Are we back?
That's further.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the picture don't look good. You're fine. Are we okay?
You got out going on with your phone. But you can cut down, cut on. We back.
I don't know. I'm gonna really miss it.
I think I'm just gonna go live. Instead of doing this.
No. If it's working.
Look at it. That green stuff.
Okay, give us a second, guys. Are we in the country?
Just a second.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Y'all bite. Laurie, y'all bite. What's up, Lawman?
What's going on, man? That's the lawman been on the move, man. All right. Oh, smoking tea. Let's see. Let's try this right quick. It'll come up.
Okay. Give a sec. We're gonna try to get
together. Stop cam. Like, is that clear? It looks like it cleared up a little bit. I need to probably put it at 720.
Okay, did it get a little bit better?
You got a little bit better.
It's always hard to get on my iPhone because my iPhone is older and
it's a little bit better.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think we can reduce that light just a little bit, please. Just a little bit. Because I'm telling you.
It's on my screen, actually.
Hesitation. I think we're good. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Is this working for y'all? Is this that is better. Okay. Let's go in. Let's go in. All right. All right. So hey, welcome to Eco Nation News.
Yes, Lord.
News that you may or may not be able to use. Right? You can use it. You can use it. You can use it. All right. So let y'all know straight up. We need a moment of silence because we had an event happen on the Eco Nation. And for those of you all, some of y'all are gonna be heartbroken, but we're gonna make it through this, and we need to be respectful, and we need to understand that we lost on the homestead. We lost the icon. I would say I hate to see him go, but why is that muted?
That is so mean.
I'm just saying.
Wait, you bring.
I
Why did you bother?
I need to get rid of it. Trust me.
No.
It
was fine.
I know what I'm doing. I was trying to figure out why that was new. But Sean is no longer with us, y'all. I don't see no tears. Sean, the iconic Sean, is no longer with us. And Sean did his job. Everybody saying it's better. It's good.
Wait, then nobody. Okay. Yeah, they can.
Sean gone. Sean is no longer with us. Sean did his job. Sean took care of business. Sean crowed his last crow.
Okay, I'm not laughing. I got this. I'm looking at myself and I got this smile on my face.
You
I'm not laughing. I am not.
I lost a good friend.
Like my line smile and.
Why are you justifying that? Anybody saying about your smile?
No, I saw it and I was like,
you should have given.
And I'm like, people gonna be like, why is she smiling? Why is she just sitting there laughing? I'm not laughing. It's just.
Y'all will not hear Sean crow his crow in the background, you know. That last crow will not be in the background. And I hate that for us. Man. I really do. But it's hard to say goodbye, but we're gonna try our best. Sorry, sleep. He said leave it alone.
Do what you want to do.
But somebody said, what's happening to Sean? What happened to Sean? Let me just tell you, Sean was a problem for us. Sean was. Okay, go ahead.
This is not the opinion of Jesus Naturals. This is the opinion of OJ.
Are you doing it on my side? I know you're
Well,
doing it
you
on my
said
side.
us, so
Okay, well, tell me what's your thoughts.
no. Finish your
No,
statement.
I want to come back.
No, you gotta finish, baby.
No, tell me your thoughts.
You gotta finish. You gotta finish. Go ahead.
So Sean was being very, very how do I say?
Aggressive, overly aggressive. Um, yeah,
Overly aggressive. What you mean?
with the hands.
Okay. So Sean had pretty much tore out the backs. I don't mean just that way, but in the other way too physically. We had skin exposed. We had a lot of different things going on, right? And we had we had feathers being tossed around, pulled
Yeah.
out. We had him spurring. That's the lawman. Sean told me. Let's see. Sean told me to tell y'all in my David Ruffin voice, you're a great. We gave Sean a good life.
Sean had a good life.
Sean had a good life. Sean was straight PIMPing. You know what I'm saying? Sean ate good. Sean got fed good. Sean had entertainment. Sean had protection. Sean had everything. But we had to send Sean outside the coop. And you all know to the chickens here on our property, I don't care how many people, I have so many people that comment say, why don't you let your chickens free range? Why don't you just let your chickens be free? Why don't you let your dogs be free? We're going to talk about that too. Why don't you just let your dogs be free and just roam? And people say they animal lovers, they say they're compassionate, they say they all of this stuff. But I let Sean and Sean Jr. free. Sean Jr. found his way. I don't know how he did it, but Sean Jr. didn't spend the night outside. He found a way to get back in the cage. I don't know how Sean got in there because little Sean Jr. could have easily get out. Why wouldn't he get out if he just could easily get in?
He was in the club with all the women. Why is he gonna go outside? Why?
And let me tell you, little Sean is a Sean Jr. is a he trying to break some back already, and he didn't even pull his plumes out. And,
Oh man.
and we're gonna have to do something with Sean Jr. But bottom line, Sean Jr. had his opportunity to make it or break it. So what we typically with our chickens, we say, hey, you can live your best life if you want to, but we're no longer gonna protect you. We're gonna let you be free. And Sean did what I didn't expect Sean to do. Sean lasted 2 days outside of the coop. And he learned how to cope with it. But on day three, uh, there's a crew called Shaka and Musa.
Some gangsters.
Shaka and Musa are brothers, and they did well day one and day two. Sean was so comfortable with being out and about. He would even come around the pen. He would come around Shaka and Musa. But something tells me that they were plotting.
They always plotting.
And they were like, I see you out there. But the moment we catch you slipping, we're gonna get you.
They always plot.
Yeah, they was plotting. And we were out that afternoon. They were having a good time playing in the water, running, playing. And I was up in the secret garden. Why are you smiling? Why are you smirking?
I'm on live stream. I am not smirking. I'm just on.
Also, listen, icon to we lost the icon.
I know. I'm sad about
This is not like cray.
it. I'm really sad about it.
Okay, don't look sad.
was a giver. She gave back to us for the food and for the protection. She gave back to us. What did Sean do?
He gave back.
Hurt my girl. He hurt my girl.
But he gave you baby.
I didn't want no more baby. He hurt my girl.
So here it was that afternoon. We was in the secret garden, and the secret garden is surrounded by woods. I mean, this whole area is surrounded by woods, but the secret garden is kind of tucked away in some woods. And Sean, feeling confident, feeling strong, he circled back around from my back side, and I heard something in the woods. And I forgot that Sean is out and he's about. And when he came around to the woods, Shaka and Musa said, "What?" And it was like, you gotta understand, when these dogs get in hunt mode, whether they hunting deer, whether they hunt rabbit, or whatever they see, they locked in. They like locked in. And when I tell you they locked in, they will not stop until the goal is achieved. And all of a sudden, I saw Shaka, which Shaka had been good. Musa was the one that kept trying to be like, boy, you look interesting, but I want to mess with you, but I'm not. But when Shaka says go, Musa gone. When Shaka says now, Musa is automatic. If Shaka says hold up, Musa will pull back. Sometimes. Sometimes. But Shaka got locked in and he came around the backside for Sean. And Sean, I never seen Sean run like he ran before in his life. It reminded me of that deer that they caught when they were stuck. Sean went to running and almost flying. He caught air a few times. And when he went in the air, that's when Musa got really crunk. And they zipped by me. And I tried to call them off. I tried to call them and pull back and pull back. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? They had chicken dinner that evening. They had, yeah, they had real leg quarter, chicken back, chicken breast. And Sean was just.
Sean and I had a love-hate relationship. Like
you never liked Sean. Well, you like
no,
Sean.
I did.
You like Sean with picking. You picked the weakest, prettiest one.
Yeah, he was so pretty.
Yeah.
He was so pretty. And then the little one looks just like him.
Good.
He looks exactly
He got
like
a little white.
Sean.
He got a little white feathers too.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he looks just like. And so, what's your thoughts about losing Sean? You don't hear his crow in the morning, right?
But since we've been in the house, I don't hear it anyway.
Yeah, but when you go outside, you used to every now and then. Yeah, now I shoot videos. My last few videos, y'all have not heard Sean. I kind of like that though.
I don't know. Like, I think I have him on. I think I have him crowing on a lot of videos. So I can just like put him crowing out and insert them in the video.
He'll be dead in the heart. He don't stop. When he hear my voice,
yeah.
And I'm like, I see you, dude.
Yeah.
I see you, dude.
He didn't like me.
There you go.
He did.
There you go. Now he used to try to attack me.
He always tried to attack me.
Even if she was going to
against me. When all five of them were together,
they were so good.
They formed a crew against me. I don't know, because I used to go in to feed them all the time. And I don't know over time what happened, but they all just like, every time I would come out of the door of the RV, all five of them would run towards me. And I'm like, okay, they gotta go. You gotta get them up out of here. And so that's what happened to the other four. Like, they had to leave because we weren't about to do that. And so we were like, okay, which one do we keep? He wanted to keep two, and I'm like, no, we don't have enough chickens to keep two.
And there was two that didn't play. Like
that was the one that had to go.
Look,
it was one that was way more aggressive than Sean. I mean, and I was like, yep, catch him first. So when I went out one time, we had like a pen, you put together, what was that thing? Like some metal, and it kind of made a little pen for when we got ready to move them. So I was like, I got you. I lured him in with some food. And then I blocked him in. And man, he was mad. He was so mad with me. He was trying everything in his power to get out of that enclosure so he could get me. And so one at a time, we kind of started working together, like let's lure them in. We lured them in, and they had to go. But it was one that had a toe that went over like
curl toe.
Like yeah, the toe went over like this. And I was like, yeah, that one's gotta go. The aggressive ones gotta go. And the other ones that had like defects or whatever, I was like, yeah, those have to go. And that's how Sean ended up being the last one because he was so sweet.
But Sean was the
and he wasn't even aggressive with me in the beginning. But once he realized that he was the man,
he had no competition.
Became aggressive with me. So when the first time he tried to attack me, he came straight towards my face, and I was like, oh. And I'm sure I had something in my hand to stop him from getting me in the face. And yeah, from that day forward, me and Sean had that type of relationship.
So now we won't have Sean, and if we do decide to get a rooster, right now we got Sean, and let's just pray for Sean for him to remain, because you don't need roosters to have eggs. They may not for a minute, but our problem is sometimes we're not able to get eggs every day, or sometimes they sit in there for a little while, and then we got little Sean's. When you crack up an egg, you see a whole chicken.
Yeah, I mean, if the chickens are sitting on the eggs, then yeah, that's why you have to get them. Just go ahead and get them every day if you have a rooster in there.
Yeah, so.
And then it's so hot out there too. You don't want to get them every day anyway.
Yeah. Now let's talk about, before we get into some of our, let's talk about. I've been having some comments about me and my pup, right? For all of y'all who feel like it's not a good thing to contain your animals because you're in the country, for all of those who believe that your animals should run free 24/7, I question, have you really been in the country? Really experienced the country? If you have, has it been lately? Because let me tell you, people do not mind shooting your pets. If they trespass and if they play around with their dogs, their chickens, their ducks, their whatever, they don't mind laying down firepower to your animals. Now, these particular dogs can be somewhat intimidating to those that don't know them. They can also be very energetic when they come in contact with you. They're not like a calm type dog. They're not like a dog that's trying to figure out what they fix to do. Their species are more like, I'm coming with a mission, and I'm coming to, if I see something, I'm coming, I'm locked in, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, who are you? What's going on? So it does not leave them in a good way. And I didn't want to share it, but I did share it in one of my comments and in one of my videos. Our dog, one of them, they were poisoned. I mean, people in the country, they do things different. They set traps. I know a lot of things is against the law, but people still do it. Everybody say they want this off-grid living. They want to be out in the country, no rules, no restrictions, no nothing. You got to understand that in a lawless land, people do what they want to do, and you don't control the people around you, the people who none of that. And you got to be willing to be that lawless person in so many ways to protect the community. So you got to understand, there's avid hunters out here. They don't want their deers chased. They don't want where they put their feed and they put it where they try to entice deers and stuff. They don't want coyotes. We got coyotes. We got mixed breed wolf hybrid dogs. Some people say we got bears. Some people say we don't have bears. We got bobcats. We got predatory animals, and dogs in the country can also be predatory. They can go wild, and you got stray dogs that will gather and form a pack. And so there's a lot of challenges, y'all. And if you leave dogs unattended, we have delivery that comes here.
Mm-hmm.
So our dogs may be cool with one delivery person, but if anything happens, then imagine we're away from the homestead. We working our jobs, we doing something. Now here we got an hour and a half or 2 hours to get there, and something tragically happens. We're responsible for our animals, y'all. No different between a city, no different between anywhere else. It's in a perfect world. If you all would like to donate, my cash app is what's my cash app? Ego Nation. You want to help get 20 acres? I'm more than willing to start a fund for that if you want to do that. But for those of you who don't understand the cost of fencing, the cost of clearing land to fence, uh, we do plan to get larger and larger areas for our dogs to run and roam. But we everyday people, y'all. We everyday people. We don't have this great big $1 million that we sit on top of. We have to do things through the process, through time, and we try to provide a good, safe environment for all of our animals, loving, and we feed them, we nourish them, we exercise them, and we still safe. Even if my dogs get out in 15 minutes, to most dogs in city and urban place, even if they only get out for 15 minutes, they're going to get more exercise than probably 1 week of your urban dog.
I don't know how to get this. How do I get over? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So,
Be rich.
what's up,
Thank
Big
you.
Rich?
Says, what's up, Chico and Gigi? How much training have you done with them as for keeping them near you when you're out?
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. When they're around us, when I'm out, I can keep them near me. That's not an issue. The issue is if we leave or we even go inside for a period of time.
They out. They bailing.
Well, let me just share this with you. You got certain types of dogs. Some dogs are herders. Shepherds are herders. Even when they nip at your feet, at your ankles, that's we. A lot of times, I think we forget about the breeds of our dogs and what they were bred to do. They are designed to chase things. They are designed to go and hunt and forage. These animals are very close still to a wolf. They act like a wild animal in a lot of cases.
And if you look at on his videos, when they're playing with each other, look at what they always go for the ankle.
Just with herding dogs, if you never had a herding dog, that's what they do with sheep. That's what they do with cows, everything. They nip at the ankles to get them guided, to get them going in certain directions, to keep them moving. You don't want to take away the nature of the dog. You can't really do it. It's innate in them. You know what I'm saying? And I get all of this. There could be a vast amount more improvement with training that we could do. I'm not negating that, but we do want our dogs to be free. We want them to be open, but we have to be responsible with that, right? So Our issue is if we're not around, hey, a rabbit jumps out, a fox runs across, or something like that, they're going after you. And guess what? Just like anything bad that would be against us, I want them to do the same thing. It's almost like without you physically being there, how you turn that off and how you turn that on, that can be very challenging, right? Now we have a breeder that lives not too far from us, and he's very good at what he does. But even he has to pin up his. I've been to his establishment. Some dogs are there and loose. He don't really have any neighbors, right? I think they're on 50 acres, and some dogs run free to a certain amount. But even now, like I recently saw his establishment, and all his dogs are either in a cage or they tied up. And I guarantee you the reason why they are tied up is because a neighbor or somebody had complained. Because these dogs are high energy. They will run miles without stopping. You gotta understand, our dogs can literally run this 20 acres like it ain't nothing. They be 60 acres deep, 80 acres deep. Our neighboring properties, they be on the other side of their property just like that. They are relentless. They got a bunch of energy. They quick and they fast and they agile.
Very, very fast. Very agile.
I mean,
they can
thick
climb
brush,
fences. They can,
tree
mean,
stump, all
they
of
can
that.
go under things like it's nothing.
Nothing.
I'm talking about at a fast rate of speed. So
And I've never seen a breed of dog that could dig so quick.
yeah.
When I tell you,
That's why all of that stuff, when you look at his videos, all of that stuff, we got all kinds of stuff surrounding the fence to stop them from getting out all the time.
we got a we have a what's the name of that tree next to
The Persian silk.
the Persian silk, probably something else.
Yeah.
But that Persian silk, it has roots span out. They have dug caves underneath the silk root system, and sometimes they dig all the way out. Sometimes they, and I'm not talking about no 1 or 2 feet deep. I'm talking about this is something I could get almost in and crawl in and move, and they'll do that overnight. They'll dig like that overnight. And so, by nature, they are who they are, and I don't want to suppress that. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's quote a problem, but it can be. And so that's why I try to communicate with my viewers that we're not trying to punish, we're not trying to do anything bad to our animals, but we're actually trying to keep them safe. Because I have witnessed.
If your dog poison,
Yes.
You will
Man,
keep your
that was
dog.
heartbreaking.
And thankfully, I'm a soap maker, so I keep activated charcoal on hand.
Yeah, she saved
And
his
so
life.
you
Life.
put, you see him, and
It was
he
almost
is
like he had
just
a
like
stroke
he's
from the
drooling,
mouth.
and his tongue is purple.
Yeah.
The only thing that we could do for the moment, because he wouldn't come out from under the RV. This was back when we had RV. He couldn't come out from under. He was too weak. And so we took some broth and put some activated charcoal in there. By the second time we gave him activated charcoal, he was up. He was moving.
And every time we gave them that dose, I could see his strength regaining more and more and more.
And shoot, he was good to go.
Now Musa was enjoying himself doing that. Well, he was sad. He was
He
sad.
was definitely sad.
But at the same time, he ate more because Shaka normally is the leader. And for Shaka not to even fight for food or do anything or do all of that, they don't normally have to fight. They understand the fact. They, all that bickering and arguing when they were young, but Shaka has established that he is the leader, even when he was a puppy. And then Musa understands, and he thrives in being not that dominant male. He likes the fact of he's serving Shaka. in so many ways. But I did watch the dynamic when Shaka was down. Musa began to change his demeanor, his interaction with me, everything. It was more in tune. He listened better. But he was transitioning to kind of be that leader, you know, during that time when Shaka was down. So it's interesting on what we do and this
You can
journey.
never know. You can never know what happens in somebody's life just by a clip, you
Yeah.
know, just by a clip that you see. So don't automatically assume that everything that happens out here, you have no idea. But I got a book coming out. We're gonna talk about it. Anyway,
Shameless plug.
shameless, not shameless.
No, I know you ain't there.
But but seriously, there's a lot of stuff that we could not say out loud.
Oh, excuse
Because like people they have what I call the snitch button
me.
at the county. And the snitch button is where you can hit this button and you can send a message to the county to report something that you've seen that somebody else has done. As y'all also saw in when Eco Neighbor and the land clear were burning, somebody called the police
They
on
called
them.
911 on us.
They called the 911 on them and tried to pretend like they had a fire out of control or something. And so the snitch button is real. And so there's a lot of stuff that we could not and would not say
Correct.
that I'm gonna put in the book because we passed it.
Mm.
We passed it.
Don't let them come for us now.
We made it through. Ain't nothing they can do. We legal. We legal now. Ain't nothing they can do at this. So that's just what it is. You know, when there's a time and a place for everything, and when well yours don't even work. So at least we on here. At least we on here. Yours don't even work. Well, all right, let's turn it off and turn yours on.
Let's put the app on back on.
No, we good. We good. If they can hear us, we're gonna move on. All right. But anyway, that's enough of that. All right. I've seen them do that. You saw the dogs. They grab each other's people to like subdue each other, take each other down. Brenda King, how you doing? Bless up to
Hey,
you.
what's going on, Brenda King?
As the lawman, I've witnessed how fast they are. Yeah, they are very, very. All right. So what's our topic?
Can you continue to keep talking just a little bit longer while I pull it up real quick?
All right. So how's everybody? What's going on with everybody? Everybody, family good? You all good? Nobody have issues with?
You know, we've been having storms and
All right. So everybody, I know we had a couple of family members that were flying. Your flight was okay. Everybody is all good with the crisis that happened yesterday, the day before. Nobody had any issues. Oh, it's choppy. Hello, Brown 6698. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Glad to see you all in the chat today. I'm sorry it's choppy. I'm not sure if there's anything that we can do. It's better now. Okay, so it's just kind of going in and out. Sorry. All right, Eco Navy. What we got?
no, we had quite a few events that happened. We already talked about the cyber security and everything. But we're also still at this point where we got interest rates going down with housing, right? And so my question is, with housing interest rate going down, what would be a good interest rate to make you want to buy a house? What interest rate do you think would be a good interest rate to go buy a house at this time? Because I think I read you was on a 30-year 6.77. I want to say 8.77?
Me personally, I really don't put a lot of emphasis on that. And I know it affects so many things. It affects how much house that you can really afford, depending on your interest rate. But for me, I don't put so much, I didn't put emphasis on it for myself because I realized that I can outpace that interest.
Now, how can you outpay? Can you
I
explain?
can outpace it by making extra payments towards the principal only.
Can you kind of go a little bit deeper with that?
Well,
Because some people, they may pay, if the payment is $400 a month, they may pay 450.
yeah.
Does that really mean that they're paying towards the principal?
Well, if you make the extra $50, if your payment is $400 per month, you make the extra $50 towards principal only, then that alone is going to save you probably like 5 even if you do this extra $50 per month, it's gonna save you like $5.
What I was trying to drive at, sometimes you'll pay 450 and you think it's going to the principal, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes your next bill will be $350. And you gotta watch for the lenders because what they'll do is they won't apply your extra payment to the principal. Some of them ask you in a separate payment. Some of them ask you to note it on your payment. Or even when you're online, you're paying online, there may be a different slot for to the principal. So beware of that, look for that, and just remember, even if it's $10, $5, $15 extra, do it,
Yes.
do it.
Don't ever pay the minimum. That's on anything. That's on credit
Period.
cards. That's on all of that. Don't ever pay the minimum because you're gonna put yourself in a long-term situation where you're giving these people double the amount that you paid for your home if you don't go ahead and put in that extra payment. And that's why I specifically said for the principal only. That extra amount needs to go towards principal only. And that's how we always outpace our interest. And we would look at our amortization schedule. If you can pull up those online, I love the one on calculator.net. You can put in your information and kind of give yourself a really good idea on what you can afford and how much you would pay. And then it'll let you click a button where it'll say add extra payment. And put in, say, $50 per month, it'll tell you how much you're going to save on interest by doing that extra $50 per month. Or it's also going to tell you how much faster you're going to pay that mortgage off. So that's a good one on calculator.net to play around with.
So let me share with you, Pat, just by you adding 10, 15, whenever you get extra money, 50 sometimes, 30 sometimes, 100 sometimes, you get an income tax return if this. Um, these are different ways you can definitely break down the amount of money that you're paying. You can reduce all of that interest payment. And the sooner you do that in a mortgage, the better you are. And this is something that is going to lead me to what are the reasons? I want to talk about the top reason why people lose their land, some of the top reasons why people no longer have it. So, what do you think one of the top reasons why people don't no longer own their land? How do they lose? How do people lose their land? Give Give me one good way that people lose their land.
You're talking to the audience and me.
I'm talking to you and to the audience. Y'all put in the chat.
One way that people lose their land is
Yeah.
by not protecting it and something like a living trust.
Okay.
I mean,
Explain. Explain.
well, when you put your property in a trust, then you're going to avoid everybody else coming for your property. You're going to avoid probate. That's number one. If at all possible, if you can avoid probate, that means that the government is going to have to touch your property. It's going to have to take you through court. You got the attorney who got to get paid, the probate attorney who has to get paid. You can have any creditors. It looks like okay. Okay, I was freezing. Okay. Uh, yeah, I can see it. I can see it freezing.
I'm just trying to see if I can get in a better place for to see how your battery's looking.
But you have probate that's going to that's going to be heat. Okay. All right. Let you cook. So you want to avoid probate at all costs. In order to do that, then you put the property in a trust. So that's one of the first things that come to mind. Miss Nada said, okay, family man said not paying their taxes.
Not paying the taxes. I mean, that's one of the leading ways where people lose their property, not paying taxes. And you are right. The inheritance. So let me share with some different ways because all of y'all are hitting it dead on foreclosure. Property owners who fail to make mortgage payments and face foreclosure. So one of the leading ones are through foreclosure, not being able to pay. You know, when you buy land, make sure that's a payment that you're comfortable with paying for. You know, if you finance. Now, eminent domain is another one. A lot of people lose their land through government seizure, private property. But one of the leading things is tax delinquency. Failing to pay property taxes can result. Now, you and I, we've had discussions multiple times. You say it's a shame that people lose their land based on tax. And I say sometimes there are reasons why people lose it due to the fact of inheritance sometimes. They might not be financially fit to pay the tax, especially with large tracts of land, or even if they have buildings and structures, sometimes those properties can be very expensive.
And that's the purpose for the trust. Because when you leave the property trust and you leave it to who you're leaving it to, they don't have those taxes. They don't have the capital gain.
I want to work on getting a trust attorney because
I already got one.
no, I'm saying bring them on to the show. It'd be nice to go into some of that more. Yeah. Because you're talking about transfer of sale. There's no transfer of sales, so there's no capital gain.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about maintaining property tax, like regardless whether they don't have to pay capital gains or not, they still got to pay property tax.
Yeah.
If you got Mr. Neighbor over here that now leaves and they're not in his peanut business no more, but then they have all this property, they have all this infrastructure, their property tax is going to be enormous. If they may be living out of state, they may be living somewhere else. Sometimes you'll watch property slowly go foreclosure for its tax lien. They're just not connected to that land. They're just not there. They're not able to run their operation that paid for the taxes. Where a person like that could pay for the taxes. So you'll see large tracts of land that's been in generations for a long period of time. They did everything while they was alive to put everything there. And they may have even left funding to pay taxes for some years, but over a period of time, with the increased value of the land, with the increased asset value increasing and property taxes increasing, some of the heirs, it becomes a burden to them because not only maintaining, keeping the fields cut, they're keeping the old homestead cut, doing everything like that. So imagine if, like us, we had someone in North Carolina and we're not living in North Carolina, we're not there, but we have that land. You have those operations, you have situations like that. Now, I know what you're going to say. Sell it.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
What you gonna say?
I was going to say that there are many options. Selling is one option. that they do instead of just losing it. Like, why wouldn't you? Try everything in your power to sell it instead of just losing. But my first thought was, is in the scenario that you gave, lease the land for cattle, for whatever, for a hunting. That, like, there are so many things that you can do in order to keep funds coming in so that you can make the tax payment on the land.
And that's why I say these discussions are so important because it's like bringing in that attorney to show the structure piece, to maintain. I think a lot of these conversations should be had because if you think about what if you come from a family where big mama, grandmama, big dad that took care of everything, you don't know the ins and outs of leasing land, leasing land, leasing it out for hunting, um, agriculture and things like that. Learning that business.
It's like anything else. If you don't educate yourself, you're going to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. So, if you do, I guess it's like if I found myself, if I didn't know any better, we got taken advantage of on real estate before. Um, but if I found myself in that type of position, the first thing that I do is I go ask somebody, hey, I got all this land. What the heck am I supposed to do with this land? What am I supposed to do? And people will tell you what to do with the land. You know, rent it, use it, put something out there, put a tiny home out there, put a manufactured home out there, lease this stuff out so that you can make money on a regular basis that is going to add up to whatever the tax amount is at the end of the year. And then in the meantime, hey, if you can find somebody to buy it, if you don't want to do all of that, because some people don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much. If you don't want to do all of that, then find a way to, like, find a realtor, let them sell it, make the money, have money, and then if you got enough land, your family left enough land that can be like life changing for you.
And one of the things just to kind of add to that, that's why I try to express the importance that we don't lock our kids and our grandkids so much where they don't have the power, the option
Mm-hmm.
to be able to liquidate some of those assets if they need to liquidate the assets. Because I've witnessed firsthand where people they had their fathers put things into place and they are literally locked into these situations.
Yeah, because they want it to remain family for generations. They want to remain.
It's legally structured. They cannot liquidate it themselves.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't know if it's doing a good service or is it a bad service, especially when they end up losing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of times, this is what I learned too by interacting with a lot of landowners, people that ask us questions, is that sometimes we say, just sell the wood off the land. Just go ahead, open up our Airbnb, open up our RV for. But I want our listeners to know these ideas sound very grandiose, but understand if you're miles away or you live in hundreds of miles away, you're trying to manage land, you're trying to interact with the community. Do you understand there's a lot of time involved, and even that estate where I bought that Riviera from, it is very challenging if you have a knowledge about land and land ownership. Not only that, the thing is, it requires a lot of due diligence, a lot of time. Sometimes you got to rezone, you got to be in the community meeting, a council meeting, you got to be at the district hearings. Sometimes you got to make multiple appearances, and then just for them to tell you no, you got to pay all these fees. It can become an overwhelming burden. And I just want to be fully transparent with more people to be like, diversify how you leave that inheritance. Land can definitely be one facet of it, but precious metals, stocks, all different types of other assets, patents. trademarks. There's so many different ways you can steal leave an inheritance. And with the land, just understand that think about the future. Think about what if you buy valuable land, you buy good rich land, guess what's gonna happen? The value gonna increase.
It's going to increase, and with that increase, taxes also increase. I get it, and that's why we do these type of videos so that we can and as y'all can see, we think completely different.
Yeah.
Like we have totally
How
different
long we been
thought
doing this?
process.
How long we been thinking this? It
For-
just recently
for-
happened though. I don't know what happened.
Nah,
Come on, babe. We still lying with each other. The same way we say everything. You call me a
Whenever-
liar?
no,
No.
of course not. Of course I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But that's why we do these so that we can give you different options on different thought processes about the same idea. And so when you have so much and like these type of conversations are in a lot of people's families, they're not normal type of conversations.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Like you playing Grand Theft Auto instead of Monopoly.
Yeah.
Like you have some different types of issues in life.
That's what I really want us to open up, having these conversations and having open conversations and looking at different viewpoints and being open minded, looking at different viewpoints as people plan their state, as people plan the transition. You know what I'm saying? It's too many times where, especially in our culture, we don't have nothing when our forefathers leave us. Either we don't have anything, and we got to gather all the necessary materials to make sure their final expenses are taken care of, or we don't sit down and we don't have these conversations on what would be beneficial for our family.
Really choppy. Charlotte Urban Gardner said, I love the information that you guys share, but the sound is very choppy. I feel like I'm missing out. You want to switch that?
Yeah,
okay. All right. Hold on, guys, for just a second. Could you stop the camera for a second? looks better already.
All right, how we doing? Yeah,
How are we?
that's what. Thumbs up.
Man,
Thumbs up.
can you put us back? Can you put us back on the
I don't
screen?
want to put this. This is the. I see what's going on. This was the Android. This is Android, and this is the iPhone, and that's the problem. We had both Wi-Fi's on. We back now. No sound, no pic. We're back.
You
We're back.
back? Okay.
Clear is back. I don't know which part you all heard or did hear.
What?
I'm going to recap real quick. We were talking about, you know, the ways that people lose land and having conversations with some of our landowners, family landowners. So you have people that have great intentions. They put their land in a trust. They may have a will. They may have very detailed instructions, and then they have a lot of land. They may have a whole farm. They may have a whole business, a whole industry, and they may not be. It may not be as beneficial as people may think it is because of the fact of now 2, 3 generations down later, they have to come up with the cost of the property insurance, the upkeep, or if they have to do anything to the land, they have to be responsible for that, and their lifestyle or their income may not support taking care of such a vast amount of land. And so you will see large acres and farms go under tax liens or go through. Some people borrow money on it if they can, if they're able to, and then they can't satisfy the loan, and then you'll watch them lose land that's been in the family for generations after generation.
Okay, so here's the thing. There are different types of trust. There's not just one type of trust. So you can have a trust to say whatever you want that trust to. So if you are getting if you have a lot of land and you just want to make sure that this land is in your family for generations instead of just passing to your children or your grandchildren, and there's a certain type of trust that you can do to make sure that nobody can sell it for 100 years or 50 years or 40 years or what have you. So there are different types of trust, but it's important to me that my children will not have to fight with anybody else about the land that I'm leaving them. Which, if it goes to probate, it's open. Everybody can kind of come and claim that they have access to your property. That's one of the things that we ran into. Well, that's the main thing that killed our deal when we were going to buy the other property. The fact that they didn't have a trust, that you had people coming from everywhere. Even when they go to do the title search, they're going to check your children from your current marriage. They're going to check your children from your previous marriage or your previous relationship or some long lost children that your current wife didn't know about. Or they're going to do all types of searches. They're going to do a very, very thorough search when they go through the title search to make sure that that whoever is on the will has all of the access to the property. But if it's not in a trust, everybody can stay. The court actually, the probate court actually allows people to send in a document to say that I'm supposed to get a piece of this property. Now that's money that the kids who you really wanted it to go to got to pay out. And then everybody else is going to try to get their piece. It's just too much to go through for your family, for your loved ones. Like if you truly love them, like you'll do for them while you're still alive, and not just wait and hope that things work out for them. I mean, that's what love does.
Okay, so another thing and another reason why people lose their land is through adverse possession. If someone occupies land openly and without permission for a certain period, they may gain legal ownership of adverse possession law. If you got
Um,
land, go ahead, man.
I read in the state of Florida, it was like 7 years or something. If they ride on your land for 7 years, they can actually claim your land. So this is why it's important to make sure that if you have it, you're doing something with it. If you're doing something with it, if you're leasing or any other thing that you have everything in writing, like it's cool that you let your friends come and stay for a couple of months, but you better have that stuff in writing because that
Over
a
that 30
friend
days.
one day could be a whole days after that. So have everything in writing. How you doing, Miss J.K. Gardner? How you doing?
And this is the thing. A lot of people or have more knowledge than some Americans about land ownership and land rights. And we have to be very careful about making sure we protect our land, making sure it's secure. And then you got other things from dumping. Sometimes people will
Mm-hmm.
dump things on your land, and people. And when we talked about government seizures, some people be thinking about roads, construction, and different things like that. But sometimes people can do illegal activities on your land. A friend of mine, he had people growing illegal substance on his land. Government can seize your land for different evidence, different things. If there's environmental issues, there's a lot of different things that can happen that can go awry. So that's why when we talk about protecting your land, we talk about being conscientious of what's going on your land. I know if you own large tracts of land, some areas we can't see, but from time to time, I put my footprint drone up, take a look around, see. And then even when you're moving on your land, if you got people that's squatting on your land, they can hear you coming, they can hear you moving around. You want to set up some cameras on your land. You want to also get you a drone. A drone will allow you to be in multiple places at one time. Will give you a wide perspective to see different parts of your land. Because what we don't want you to do in all your time, your hard work, money, because typically land gets transferred during the time that you are older in life. They prey on people that are older, that may not be savvy. Leads me to the next point. The next point is um, fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what's happening throughout this nation, especially in a lot of our predominantly people of color, African American, Black community, we're getting a lot of fraud for our land. Wherever there's a large saturation of minorities, or whatever you want to classify yourself as, be aware that your elderly, the people that's new to owning land, or the people that's so busy they don't have time to pay attention because they're hitting all walks of life, educated, uneducated, fluid, um, poor. They hit every facet because you got to understand there's a lot of fraud that's going on. And then we had this thing what we call a trust system. If someone walks into an office in some of these small counties and small municipalities, and they got a suit and a tie, and they're very knowledgeable, they can speak very clearly. They got documents that looks official, that looks real. Some states do not protect you from uh, being notified, or as long as they have certain documents and if it looks legit, it's good to go. Some people don't know in the state of Florida you don't have to record a deed. Some states you don't have to record a deed. So what does that mean? Right now we own our land. We own our land cash free. Guess what? Guess what? Gigi could do. Gigi could write up a letter right now, sign it over to somebody, and that could be that new ownership exchange. We don't have to go to the county to exchange land. Some people are not aware of that. In some states, people are not aware of that. So that's something too as well. The fraud is getting larger and larger with owning and taking people land.
Mm. Um, we got a question. You want to address this now,
Yeah,
or?
sure.
All right. So, becoming a RN nurse mom, how are you doing?
Hey, becoming RN.
Thanks for the question. She says, I just recently got a small amount of school money and wanted to buy some land. What would be y'all advice for me? We also want to invest in something and don't want to blow through the money. Um, are y'all hearing us okay before I start? Let's go. Are y'all hearing us okay? Ron
Okay,
in.
close.
Wait. That could be a Ron in issue. It's not smooth just because. Can y'all hear us okay? Can everybody hear us okay? But thank you for the question, becoming a RN. Okay, family man said yes. All right, so Ron in, turn up your volume if you can, please. Um, yes, we can hear. Okay, all right. So yeah, it's a Ron in issue. All right, so what my first recommendation to you would be to get you a realtor. Wherever you're located, make sure that you get you a realtor who knows about land, purchasing land. If you can get somebody who specializes in purchasing land, then that's even better. So if you want to go the land route, then that's definitely what you want to do for your area. And investing in something to not blow through the money. Listen, when you buy land, that's a pretty good investment to get your land, and you really, in most cases, you don't have to worry about losing your money as long as you're buying land in an area that is a good area. If you buy anything in slum areas, probably not going to get that great of a return back on your investment. But it is a good investment to be able to put your money and then know at a later date that you get ready to do something with it. Um, you're probably gonna get a pretty nice investment. These are the largest investments, the largest payoffs for us have been all of our real estate investments. Those have been the largest payoffs for us. But start with a realtor that can help you with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I, I always try to encourage people to first get a good idea what you have a knowledge of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. My first question is, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? And when you say small amount of money, are you just looking at buying land and just letting it sit to add to your portfolio? Or are you thinking about utilizing this land for maybe homestead, maybe later building or doing anything in life? It really depends on what you're doing with the land and what's your intention on doing with the land. And as far as making a sound decision, like Gigi said, location. And when it comes to land, everything deals with location and also um, what use, land use.
Mhm.
Check out your land use. Because as I said from the beginning, you can buy land, but it may not be aligned with your use. If you're trying to doing a storefront and it's agriculture, think about this. You're going to have to go through a lot of processes to transition it from agriculture to commercial. What is commercial? Sometimes you might want an Airbnb. Sometimes you might want an RV park. Sometimes you might want to do all of this stuff. Just because you got rural land, you got a bunch of trees, you got always maybe cleared off, or you might have a mobile home park on there. Make sure that they did their due diligence prior to you. Don't go behind someone they didn't do their due diligence. That's why it's so important not only just uh, have a foundation, but know that that foundation is correct. And that professional realtor, if you get a good realtor, take your time finding a good realtor. one that's patient with you, one that's willing to walk you through processes, one that's not rushing you. That's a red flag, and don't be afraid to cut them off. If you get a realtor and it's not jiving, or when you get closer to closing, or getting closer to putting down your earnest money, and they kind of rushing you, they kind of push you a little bit fast, and without having the connection with you, cut them off.
Now, let me say this too. Don't waste their time.
No.
I mean,
no.
these
Be
are
ready.
people. Be ready. Don't just go and get realtors and have them going out, wasting their time, wasting their gas. This is their profession.
Yeah.
So don't waste their time either. They are human too, just like you, and they have a job to do. So if you're ready to do something, like be ready for real. Don't be playing around with people and then have them taking you around to see 40 properties, and then you feel like, I don't know.
Because they don't get paid.
I don't even play like that. Right. They don't get paid. Realtors don't get paid until after closing. So
you may lose a good realtor.
Yeah.
Lose a good realtor by wasting their time.
Yeah. If they feel like you're wasting their time and they cut you off, like, don't be surprised. They can cut you off just like you cut them off.
And like I said, go back to your first question, your first thing about, I want to buy some land. Why do you want to buy some land? Why land?
Yeah.
And that's going to kind of lead you down the path of really getting an understanding of what you want and what you're trying to achieve, so you can communicate that to your realtor. So your realtor can know their professional experience on how to guide. And she said one key thing: make sure that they know about land, buying property. Somebody who's been living in the city, who's been selling city land, and now you like them, you know their family and all that, and now they trying to transition into selling some rural county land that they not used to doing it. You might want to reconsider that. You need somebody who's experienced with raw land.
Yeah, some of those country people who are out there in the country who specialize in selling agricultural, land, because they're going to be able to tell you how you're going to take it.
Season of Tree.
Thank you, Season of Tree. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Those people out there in the country that sell the land the most, those are going to be the people who can point some certain stuff to you and say, hey, check this out. I need to check on this for you, because this doesn't look right. This property should have already sold by now. Let's see what's going on. Why this particular property has not sold. Let me talk to the person. I actually did some research for somebody on a manufactured home park just recently, and the manufactured home park has been for sale, and so I'm looking through all of the documents. So I called the realtor and I'm asking her to send me everything that she has on the property. I need to know certain things. To know, okay, is this thing money? I ain't talking about what they last year. How you doing, Rizzy? Nicole Rose, how you doing, sis? I'm not talking about they made money back in 2020. I need to know, is it making money today? Is it making money right now today? And some of the stuff that I received, they had handwritten out what went to mama and what, I was like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And it's been sitting there for a period of time that kind of piqued my interest. And I'm like, why is nobody jumping on this? Because this is a good price. So why is nobody jumping on this? So you have all types of stuff happening in those types of environments. And then if the places are barely livable and they're trying to sell it, which is what the case was, they did not do they didn't do any of the requirements that the RV park that we were living at for like 4 months. That RV park don't play, okay? They don't play the radio when it comes to keeping that community looking really nice. So they had the RVs in one area, they had the manufactured homes in another area, and you could not bring old manufactured homes. Matter of fact, they just started bringing in their own so that they would be up to their standard. And you also could not bring RVs older than a certain age there. So when I tell you they had very high standards for their property because they want to be able to get the highest amount of money off of renting you their space that they can possibly get. One lady moved next to us, and she was like, her RV was really. By the end of the day, they had came around and they were like, in the note on her door, you need to be pressure washed ASAP. And by that next day, she had to get that thing pressure washed, or she had to leave. So
It's
go ahead.
it's one of those things going back to owning land and buying land. Um, you don't want to buy another problem. You don't want to buy somebody else's problem. You want to do the research. You want people to do the research. And just like you said, if you got a rural realtor in that area, they know about seasons, they know about the trees, they know about the topography, they know about the money, fishing, they know what land is going for, they know about the community. And guess what? They do not want to risk their reputation on doing something dumb or doing something stupid because in the country, in the rural area, your name is your bond. You know, sometimes I'm not saying it's not in the city, but you can get mixed into a large number, a large pool, but it's more intimate. It's a more intimate setting in that rural area. And so that's why I definitely want to encourage you if you're looking at raw land that we've experienced. It's so many things that you have to look at before you buy raw land, and we now look at land totally different than what we used to.
The very first piece of property that I sold when I became a realtor back in the early 2000s was a piece of land. It was a small piece
So
of land. The land,
coming in,
um, but it was in the city, and it was very different from what we went through, later on. And you know, it was just very, very different. And there are so many things that you have to call the county and check
can
with
you
the
kind of
county
break that
on.
down a little bit? Why is it different between the city and what makes it different? Land is land, right?
Land is land. Land is land. But you have so many more restrictions. Like when we bought a piece of land in Tallahassee, we were surrounded by mixed use property.
Mhm.
But by the time we bought that particular property, they were like, you can't do that anymore. And we were like, what? But see, we were going off of what we visually saw.
Thank you.
We were going off what we visually versus asking the rule makers. We didn't ask the rule makers what we were supposed to ask them and do the due diligence that we were supposed to do before we bought that particular property. The location was
I
outstanding.
understand.
Um, we met the neighbors across the street. Like we knew that we had made a great investment, but we didn't do the amount of due diligence that we should have done on that particular property. And then when we got ready to put a structure, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
to RN,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
When we got ready to put a structure on that property, and they were like, you can't do this anymore. And we were like, wait a minute. But the neighbors,
And that's why you need a skilled person. And let me share this in addition to what you just said. Say for instance, you come at an RN nurse. Just say you bought a property and you weren't going to do anything for another 10 years,
mm,
5 years. You look young on your thumbnail.
yeah, so pretty.
Yeah, just say you bought some land and you're gonna sit on it and you just say, hey, I probably won't do anything with this for XYZ period of time and then I decide then. be ready for rules and regulations to change from the time you bought it to the time you start building on it.
Mm-hmm.
Be expecting for change.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keep the area, pay attention to the council meetings, pay attention to all of those things in your area when you own that land, because you'll be sitting in on some of these council meetings, ride around your land periodically, look for posted signs. These are public notices where they're getting ready to change your land, and they're getting ready to change the land use, they're getting ready to rezone your area, and there could be a community development in your whole area, which happened to us because they brought in a bunch of retirement complex expanded, and they started buying up homes and properties all around our land, and they changed the zoning and the laws of the land that we already own. So understand this. That can be a good thing, but it may not be. It goes back to that first original question. Know what you want to do with that land originally. If it changes, be prepared to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit there and try to fight with it. Take that equity out of it, use the equity, and then go acquire another land, and you might be a little bit further and ready to build now. You might be a little bit further than where you started originally years ago. And that equity that you built out of that, you can get your money back plus some. And then it'll be a great start next piece of land.
Yeah, Ryan N said, how much due diligence did you have with the county appraisal office for the area you serve? We didn't do like the appraisal office was not it.
I think
You go to the tax.
So that's like the tax.
So yes, they have that information in a line. Like even if you look at like Zillow or whatever, they'll have a whole list for whatever year, whether they have been paid. What is the appraisal office is going to show you what structures are on that land. Um, they're going to show you the assessed value and all of that stuff. We always look at that. That's some of the first stuff we look at. With in addition to that, going to the courthouse to look at that deed, because that's going to be the thing that tells you what you can and cannot do with whatever property is.
Make sure it matches, y'all. So just like our social security number and our ID, you want to do that with the land. If you're looking at a piece of land or you're talking about putting down some money on a piece of land, you're talking about bam, especially when you're dealing with something outside of a realtor, something outside of a banking financial institution, and you're talking about owner financing, you're talking about some type of special company, you buying it, they give you a parcel ID number. I don't care whether they give you surveys, I don't care whether they give you right or none of that. Ask for your parcel ID number and make sure that matches with the county tax assessor's office. You should be able to look up that on that website, that parcel ID number, even if you got a listing in Zillow for sale by owner or even a real keystroke errors. Make sure that the property parcel number matches with the county deed and the actual county record. Because if you see a conflict, that's a red flag. That should engage you in a conversation to question the integrity of that advertisement or that piece of property that you're getting ready to contract.
Karen and Thomas, how you doing?
How you doing, Karen?
Welcome in. Claim deed to be filed electronically, and does it have to involve an attorney with all? I'm not sure what word you're trying to use. Completed and notarized, or can an individual file it? The property in question is in South Carolina. I'll say this about a quick. With a claim deed can be a easy way to get a property. However, you want to make sure are getting a title search because a quick claim is not going to guarantee that you don't have somebody else who can stake claim to that particular property. So absolutely, get an attorney and have them. I don't know about South Carolina and whether they can file electronically or what have you, but okay, all forms. Okay, gotcha. I'm not sure about South Carolina. I've never bought land in South Carolina before, so I can't tell you on that. But absolutely, if you're going to do a quick claim, absolutely get an attorney and get a title search.
And let's just kind of dive a little bit in just on the higher level, not going into the weeds. The attorney is there to make sure everything is put in place and all things are done in order, legally done correctly. The title search is to do the investigation to make sure are there liens in there. Sometimes you buy property and somebody built a fence and they didn't pay the fence contract. Or there was a whole project that was done. It could have been someone could have did a restoration on a building or a structure or a barn, and then they paid the contractor, but then the contractor then paid the subcontractor, and then they put a lien on your property because of all of that. There's a lot of tanglement and just crazy stuff that could happen without you taking the time. And I keep begging my fam, do not try to quickly do this land thing. Do not try to do it, and don't, you know,
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
It is.
If it seems too good to
Low
be true.
entry. Now imagine this. I got a $100,000 piece of property right here. Great location, awesome, and all you need is XYZ amount down, XYZ amount, no credit check, no nothing, no this and that. You just put your money down and that's it. You need to have 15 million questions.
That is not the way real estate goes, guys. We've been doing this for a very, 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 very long time. That is not the way real
That's a
estate
scary
goes.
situation.
That's a scary situation to be in. And we have done this thing in numerous ways. And buying raw land several times, having to go through the whole clearing process, um, installing wells and septic tanks and all of this type of stuff. Like we've done this thing in so many ways. We had a house built. We bought an existing house. We bought two manufacturers. So we've done this thing so many ways, and never has it gone the way that he just described, because that is not the way real estate is set up to happen. Now, if you find yourself in a situation like what he just described, I would absolutely say get your own financing. Find somebody who will finance you and get that property in your own name. But also, you got to make sure you do all of your due diligence. You got to have that parcel number so that you'll know exactly where your parcel is located. You have to make sure that you have that survey so that you know your boundary line and your test, your soil test. Have somebody look at your topography,
Yeah.
like to make sure that you can build on this property. You got to get the done. Have a well come out to look at the property with you to find out, this is going to be a tremendous undertaking to get water in that particular area. There's so much stuff that you have to find out before you start giving people your money and you don't have anything writing or any of that type of stuff. So,
And with you put so much into buying this piece of property and buying this land, it you can spend so much money and you can lose greatly if you don't do your due diligence. Take your time and do your due diligence. And if you don't understand something, you can understand it.
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Get your own realtor. Don't ask the seller of the land, Jack.
Oh well, I'm not talking about the silver lining.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh,
I'm
my
not.
bad.
See,
Get your
I
own
don't
realtor.
even do that with people real.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's let me share something with you all. Either it's a real estate attorney or a realtor, straight
Mhm.
up. And this is what I want to explain. Even if somebody runs a title search, it does not guarantee that something will not come up. That's how deep this is. They can go through an investigative study, but let me tell you what a title search will do. If they find out that they overlooked or did something that wasn't correct or gave you information that wasn't correct, they stand behind it and they will refund you.
They fiscally responsible for it.
They are
They don't want to be fiscally
Nope.
responsible for it. So they're going to make sure that they do a thorough title search for
a
you.
warranty.
That's right. To make sure that nobody else can stake a claim to your property. So don't overlook that. You gotta make sure that you have that title search. You gotta make sure. All right, we back. The phone, we got to get Wi-Fi at some
I'm telling you
point.
my lies, man.
We got to get Wi-Fi at some point. But are we back, y'all? We back. We back. All right, Melanie Man said, "Yep."
I appreciate you,
All
family,
right,
man.
sorry about that. But go ahead, baby.
All right. No, I think where I left off, I was talking about liability.
Yeah.
And I was talking about quit claim deed. Quit claim deed. See, you might be purchasing this property and it could have a whole mess load of other obligations and liabilities, and or some people found out they got land, and I've heard of this. Matter of fact, you and I, we shared this story. Bought the land, have the land, but it's an environmental issue. They didn't find that out until it started. Are we back or not? I see that's out. We good? No. No, sir.
Are we back again?
Let me know.
Because we seeing just a black screen over here, y'all.
We good? Yes, no, we good?
Okay, we're good.
Okay, I'm
we
sorry.
just seeing a black screen on our end, so we didn't know if we were there or not.
Okay. But this guy, he bought a piece of property. He found out that the previous owner, they've been dumping some illegal substance. They wasn't disposing of it correctly. So they just was burying it. And going back to what Gigi said, they own the property, they bought the property, and then when they got ready to build on the property, they had to do a soil test. When they did the soil test, they discovered the guy couldn't do anything with the property. He couldn't build on the property. That property is still to this day sitting there. He even had to pay for environmental cleanup.
Yeah.
EPA came in there and they shut that thing down. And I would tell you they dug for months out there, and he was responsible for all of that.
Even though it wasn't him that did it.
Nope. Now he probably could sue and go after. I don't know whatever happened to that. That's been decades ago. But I just remember it's still covered up now. Yeah, it's still covered up. Yeah, it's been well over 2 decades ago, and there's still mounds of that dirt covered up right now. So these are the things that I really want to just beg you all to don't skimp. Don't try to do it the quick way. Don't try to do it the fast way. Don't try to put a Band-Aid on something where you need to really open it up, go in and take a look at it, and really do your due diligence. And I get it. If the money's that tight, don't even buy it. You might even want to just start off with a smaller piece of property. And if once I think that we probably want to wind this thing down.
I gotta try to get Wi-Fi out here. For real. Yeah, I gotta try my best to next week go ahead and get Wi-Fi out here so we can do better live streams than this. The information is great, but if people can't get it,
we're trying to get it. But we thank you all for coming in. We thank you all for hanging with us. And y'all are some true soldiers. I mean, y'all rocking with Eco Nation. Y'all rocking with Gigi Naturals. I really appreciate that because even when we were in, even when we were out, y'all still hung around. You still supported us. And thank you for our loyal moderators as well as Eco Nation members and as well as our visitors. And thank you for the questions. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you just being. We really appreciate you. Until next time.
I actually have a book coming out within the next week, and it's going to talk about a lot of the stuff that we could not talk about when we were doing videos because we're still going through, the process and the and I know he has his version that's going to be coming as well. So thank you all for that. We appreciate it. We'll let you know.
Next time, y'all don't forget, whatever you do, make sure that you keep on growing. Grow.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Till next time.